So when you first open up Access, you're going to find yourself on this screen, and this is basically just an entry portal to get you where you need to be. And there are a couple of options here. And by the way, this is very similar to Excel if you've used Excel before, but for the purposes of this course, I'm going to assume you've never used Excel or that you're not completely familiar with it. So you have a couple of choices here. You can go over here and see your recent databases. So this shows things I've worked on today, things I've worked on yesterday, and then you can navigate to other files that you've, say, worked on in the past. Or you can create a blank database, which is what you'll probably do most of the time when you're starting a new Access database. Or you can go into one of these templates. And these templates are not as extensive as the templates that you'll find for Excel, but you do have a number of things you could choose from. For instance, if you wanted to create a contact list, they have a pre-made contacts database. You could do a list of students. You could do event management, task management. Up here we have asset tracking and so forth. This Northwind is an order tracking system. And there are also custom web apps, which allows you to create a database that's accessible through an app, so you can share it around and use it on multiple computers in multiple locations. In this course, we'll be focusing on essentially desktop databases that you use on your computer, which can be shared, but they're hosted on your computer. Now, if you scroll down over here, you can go down to more and more templates. And then if you want to search for a template, you can search right here. But since we're going to be creating a database from scratch so that you can learn how to do that, we're going to just go here and click on blank database, and it's going to get us started. Now the first thing you'll notice is it says, should I create an Access app or an Access desktop database? That's just a help article that will help you decide which is better. Again, in this course, we're going to be doing the desktop database, so we will leave it as is and continue. Now we'll name this, and I'm just going to name this Practice Database. And then you can click here to navigate to where you want it to go on your computer. So if you have a documents folder or a specific Access folder where you want to keep all your files, you can navigate to that here, and then you click Create. And that will bring you into the Access program. And you'll notice that it pre-populates a table in here to start with. That's basically just a placeholder table so that there's something in the program when you open it up. But what you want to do is just click out and close that, so you're starting with a completely blank slate. And then you'll come over here to Create, click Create, and Table. And then we'll have a table that's ready to begin. Now before I get into creating tables and the other objects in your database, I want to give you a tour of the Access ribbon and some of the tools. So this area here is what's known as the Access ribbon. This is where all your tools are, and you have tabs along the top here that allow you to work with different ribbons. So because I've created a table, it's created a special ribbon called Table Tools, which allows me to do some edits for the table. So you can see this allows me to edit fields. This allows me to edit the table itself. And we'll get into that later, but just so you know that whenever you're in a table or an object within Access, it's going to give you these specific tools that are only available when you have something open. So we'll go back to Home so I can show you the more general tools that you'll find. So you'll probably recognize some of these from Microsoft Word. These are just formatting tools. You have Find options so you can search and find things within your table. These are tools for working with your records, which is essentially working with your data entry. These are sorts and filters. This is your clipboard, copy, cut, format painter, and paste. And then this is your view. And the view is something that you'll use a lot. You can either do the drop down here, And right now we're in what's called datasheet view. This is a datasheet, but the other one is design view. And if you click on design view, it's first going to ask you to save it. We'll just call this practice table. Click OK. And now we're in what's called design view. And again, I'll get into this more as we go and build our first table. But just know that if you either use the drop down here or just click on this, you'll switch back and forth from design view to table view. And you'll go back and forth between the two of those as you're editing and modifying and creating tables. Okay, so that's our home tab. The File tab is what's going to actually take you back to where you can open new documents, open existing documents, save your documents, print your documents, close Access, get into your personal account, leave feedback for Microsoft, and explore different options and settings within Access. So to get back to the main screen, you'll just click this back button, and that puts you back in your database. So we're on the Home tab. Let's look at the Create tab. This is where you're going to actually create different objects in your database. So I already showed you how to go to Create and Table, and that's how we created this table. But we can create queries here. We can create forms here in this section. We can create reports here in this section, and then you can do macros and Visual Basic in this section. Then there's external data. For instance, the most common would be importing a spreadsheet from Excel that you want to turn into a database. Then you can go to here and you can import an Excel spreadsheet using this link. So this section here is for importing, and then this section here is for exporting as various things. And you can see you can export it to Excel, you can export it as a PDF, and obviously many more options. Then we get into our database tools, but you have compact and repair database, you have your macros and Visual Basics. This offers an alternative way to create relationships, but you can actually create them right within your tables as you're creating them. You can analyze your database, you can move data, or you can go and grab additional add-ins to bring into Access. So I already covered the table tools, and whatever object you're in that you have open here will pop up a different tool. And then finally, this is the tell me what you want to do. It's essentially like a help function, although it's a little more effective, so you can just type in what you want to do in Access, and it will often bring you right to the operation, or it will bring you to a help screen that will help you to find the answers that you need. So that's the ribbon. And then we also have the Quick Start menu here, which allows you to quickly save, undo, redo, and then here you can actually customize the Quick Access toolbar, and all you have to do is click on any of these things and you can add them to this toolbar up here. So if you want to have Quick Print on here, you just click that and see it adds the icon for Quick Print, and it makes it quicker to use. You can also go down here to find more commands that you can add to the Quick Access toolbar. And this is something you do after you've been using Access for a while and you start to get a sense of things that you will use frequently and you want rapid access to. So that's the options there. I'm going to get rid of the Quick Print. And then the last thing I haven't showed you here is the navigation pane to the left of your table here. And you can actually close the navigation pane if you just want to work within your table. You can click that again to open it. But this will show all of the objects in your database. And you can organize these in a number of ways, but generally you'll have like tables, queries, forms, reports, and then you'll have all of the tables that you have listed. You'll have all of the reports, all of the queries, all of the forms, and it'll all be here, so you can just quickly click into these and bring them up on your main screen. And you can use this button here to sort your navigation pane. so that it best suits the project and allows you to find things more easily. So that's a quick tour of the Access interface and the ribbon and toolbars.